one of the things agencies always ask about is about the registered office, about their address, and secondly, what should I have on my front door? Where should I have it? Where should I have all of this listed? The other part of that question is, how close to the border do I have to be to operate in two jurisdictions, so across border transactions? So Section 28 of the Property and Stock Agents Act lets us know that a licensed agent, licensed in New South Wales under the Property and Stock Agents Act, must have a registered office within New South Wales. Fair call. If you're a New South Wales agent, you've got to have an office in New South Wales. Except a licensee may carry on the business of an agent at an office outside of New South Wales, so long as it is within 50 kilometres of the New South Wales border. So, we border a number of states, so we can, 50 kilometres over the border. So everybody gets mixed up whether it's 20 miles, 25 miles. The legislation says 50 kilometres. Okay, so you can have an office in Wodonga and still practice in Albury and anywhere throughout New South Wales because you are within the 50 kilometres. That Tweed, Coolangatta issue is there. So, it's there for those cross-border transactions. Okay. New South Wales Fair Trading obviously will still have jurisdiction over you if your office is over the border because when you are operating within New South Wales using your New South Wales licence on New South Wales property or livestock. So you're still going to be regulated by New South Wales under the Property and Stock Agents Act because that's where your licence sits, that's where you are practising and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Obviously, if an agent changes their address, you always have to notify Fair Trading immediately. If it goes outside those 50 kilometres, then obviously you've also got an issue. So you need to think about if you're moving premises, you need to be staying within those 50 kilometres of the border if that's an issue for your practice. Now, moving from that into Section 29 of the Property and Stock Agents Act is about what you need to display on your front. We all talk about the front door. Does it say that? It actually says a licensee must display legibly and conspicuously outside of their registered office. It doesn't say it needs to be in sign writing on the front door. It can be anywhere outside of their registered office. So it's outside of the office. And obviously any other place where the business is carried on. So it has to have the licensee's name and description as a licensee. So this will be licensee, remembering, is anybody with a license. It's not saying licensee in charge in this clause 1 of section 29. It says the licensee's name and description as a licensee, the description of the kind of license or licenses held by that licensee. So it's real estate. It's, nowadays, description as a licensee, haven't got any clarification on this, but you could say it would even go to class 1 or class 2. But I think it would be enough to have on there that you're licensed in real estate, stock and station, strata, whatever that happens to be. In addition, that's the licensee, that's the person who holds a license. Part 2 of this section is that, in addition, a licensee that is a corporation. So if you are trading as a proprietary limited company and you have a corporation, which is your corporation, you must obviously have a corporation license, and the details of that corporation must be displayed legibly and conspicuously, as it said before about the licensee, outside the corporation's registered office, the name of the person in charge of the corporation's registered office. So there's your principal licensee in charge of that one. And obviously outside any other place of business that you've got rolling as well. Okay, so it's about the licensee in charge, their license details, the name. Remember, it's the name and description as a licensee as a licensee. So you've got your corporation, your details of your corporation, you've got your licensee in charge, the details, and the details of any other licensed person, because it says the licensee's name. I know that's a discussion that I have so frequently with people.